Do not miss any of our cool videos. Subscribe to our channel for latest updates. Click on the bell icon now.
Are you interested in building an AR-based game on the microbit using the internal compass? Well, then this video is for you. Hi, and welcome to RoboCraze. My name is Shiv, and in this video, I'm going to teach you how to build an AR-based game using the microbit V2 and its internal compass. So we'll use the compass to find out our current heading, and we'll generate enemies randomly around us. We can then point the microbit in different directions to find these enemies and shoot them. Let's get into it. So let us begin by understanding how we go about generating enemies around us using a compass. So I have a compass here on screen, and as you can see, north corresponds to a radial of 360 degrees, east to a radial of 90 degrees, south is 180 and west is 270. We'll be using these compass headings to generate enemies randomly around us. Then we physically move the microbit in all directions to find our enemies. We will be generating the enemy radial randomly using a random function. The radial will be between 30 and 330, and I'll get to this when I explain the code why we are limiting to these radials only. So say I generate an enemy at a radial of 120. So the enemy is going to be present somewhere over here. We have to rotate the microbit close enough to this radial so that we can see the enemy. Once the enemy is directly in front of us, between our crosshairs, we can press the shoot button to shoot the enemy. Let us now get into coding this. So I have my microbit V2 over here. I'm just going to connect it with the micro USB cable, and we can pair it on the MakeCode website. So I have MakeCode over here, and as you can see, the microbit got detected. You can click on this option over here, click connect device, and then it will walk you through. Just click on the next button, and then it tells you to connect your microbit and press the next button. Over here you can see this pop-up come up. You can click on that and press connect. Your microbit is now connected to the MakeCode editor. Now what we can do is we can begin by looking at some of the basics that we will be using in this project. So first of all, the most basic thing that we'll be making use of is this LED matrix display. So these displays, these LEDs which form a display, is where we are going to show the spaceship, the enemies, the shooting animation, and all of that. And the second thing we're going to be using is speaker with some sound effects. So if you go to the basic tab over here and you select the show LEDs, and say I make a pattern like this, just to signify that there is a spaceship over there. And then I can click on this download button, and it will download the code directly to my microbit. And as you can see, the LEDs are now forming this spaceship kind of a shape. So we'll just take this to be our spaceship. If we want to show an enemy in front of us, I can just enable this LED and then press the download button. It simultaneously also shows up in the simulator over here. However, we are not using the simulator for now. We'll do it on this hardware directly. The other thing we're going to do is play music. So what we can do is go to the music tab and scroll all the way to the bottom, and we have this play sound. The play sound. We can. I'm just putting all of this in on start right now, so that we can see what it actually looks like. My laptop just played the sound, and what we can actually do is download this to a microbit, and you can even hear this from the microbit. So I've reduced my laptop volume to 0 so that we can hear it directly on the microbit. I'll just press the reset button once, which is behind the board, and you can see that it makes a sound. One of the other things we can do, we'll actually be using this in the main code as well, is we're going to be pressing both of these buttons for various operations. We'll press button number A to shoot the enemy, and then we'll press button number B to check our score. So you can go to input, and on button press, drag this to your editor window, and then select whichever button you want. You can use button A, button B, or A plus B. So that is triggered when you press both the buttons at the same time. Let's put the play sound trigger into the button press. So every time we press the button, it should play this sound. We'll just see if this works, and if it does, then we'll proceed directly to the rest of the code. So now if I press button A, you can see it plays the sound, and I can keep pressing it as many times as I want, and it'll keep queuing the sound up and play it. We can do the same with button B. However, we don't need to do that at the moment. We'll get to this once we have the rest of our game set up. So now let's get into the code. I have already written the code for this. I'll just walk you through the code and give you a brief explanation. If you would like to try this out on your own, I'll leave a link to the code in the description down below, and I'll show you how to open it up. So let's get into the code. So as you can see, I have the game code over here, and we'll just go over this one by one. I'll leave a link to the Python code in the description down below. So if you come to the Python editor, you can see that the entire code is present in Python as well. If you take this and copy paste it into the MakeCode editor, you can then go to the block section and actually access the block version of this code. So I'll leave a link to this in the description down below. You can download it and try it out for yourself. So the first thing is we have the onStart block. So this block is executed only once when the microbit boots up. I have a bunch of variables over here which we will get into the details of in a bit, but for now let us just see what I am setting these variables to. So we have the enemy radial. This is the direction, or this is the compass heading that the enemy is situated at. We generate this by picking a random number between 30 and 330. Why we're using these two numbers only is something that I'll get to in a bit. Then we have radial tolerance 0, 1 and 2, which I set to 5, 15 and 25. We'll get to these as well in a bit, but these tolerances basically tell us how close we are to the enemy. Because what we are going to be doing is rotating the microbit around to find the enemies, and as the enemies get closer, they'll start from this edge LED and move into the center. When we are pointing directly at them, they'll be drawn in the center, and then I can press the button and shoot them. So that is why we have these three radials. So radial 0 basically tells if we are within 5 degrees of the enemy, means which is the value of radial 0, we'll draw the enemy in the center. If we are within 15 degrees of the enemy, we'll draw it on this LED which is to the right. And if we are within 25 degrees, we'll draw it on the outermost LED. If we are more than that, we will not light any of these LEDs up. Next we have the game running variable, which is set to true. So the game running variable basically tells us if the game loop is running and if the microbit should render the enemies. We'll get to why we need this in a bit. Then we have a variable called enemy within crosshair. So this variable will tell us if we are directly pointing at an enemy, because we want to be able to shoot the enemy only if they are directly within the crosshair and not if they're somewhere to the side. So this variable is a Boolean variable and it gives us that. Next we have the score. This is simply to keep track of how many enemies we have killed till now. And in the end, I just set the volume to the maximum because we want to be able to hear the sound effects properly. Finally, we just display the spaceship, the user spaceship at the bottom of the screen, and that is what we begin with. This is all that happens once when the microbit boots up. This was the onStart block. Next we have the forever block. So this block is code inside this block is constantly executed. So this is like the loop function. If you're aware of Arduino, this is what the loop function in Arduino does. So this code, this if block keeps executing. This if block only executes if the game running variable is set to true. So if you remember, we have set it to true in the beginning of the game, and if it is true, it calculates delta radial. Delta radial is the variable which tells us how far are we from the enemy. That is calculated as the absolute value of the enemy radial minus our current compass heading. So that gives us how far we are from the enemy. Then I have a variable over here called enemy to the right. This basically tells us if the enemy is to the right. If it is true, then it means that the enemy is to the right, and when we approach it, it has to approach from the right hand side of the screen. However, if this variable is false, it means that the enemy is to the left of us, and as we rotate it to the left, the enemy has to come in from the left into the middle. So basically it tells us which side to draw the enemy on. Its value is calculated by checking if the enemy radial is greater than or equal to the compass heading. Now this is where the first problem comes in, because the problem will come in the vicinity of the north radial. What will happen near north is that, say, radial 350 is what we are currently, is what our current compass heading is, and the enemy is at radial 10. We are essentially 20 degrees apart. However, if I perform this calculation, it will give us an incorrect value. So this is why near the north radial we are going to have some trouble, which is why I always generate the enemies between 30 and 330. This is because we have chosen the maximum tolerance to be 25. So I have just taken a buffer of 5 degrees more, and we just stay out of the plus minus 30 region of the north radial. And this is the reason for that. So after that we set enemy within crosshair to false. So we begin by assuming that the enemy is not within our crosshairs. And then I have this function draw underscore enemy, which I call. The draw underscore enemy basically decides whether or not to draw the enemy, and if so, where to draw it. We'll get into the draw enemy function in a bit. Next we can look at what happens when we press either button. So button A is used to shoot the enemy and button B is used to display your score. Button A, we first check if the enemy is within the crosshair. So if the enemy is not within the crosshair, we do not want to allow the user to be able to shoot it. So we first check if enemy is within crosshair or not. This variable is being set in a different part of the code and we'll get to it in a bit. However, if the enemy is within the crosshair, means the enemy is in the center and we are directly lined up with them, then we set the game running to false. This is because we are going to be drawing some animations and sound effects and all of that, and we don't want it to conflict with the thread that is drawing the enemies. Otherwise it produces a bit of a conflicting animation. You can try this without the game running variable as well and see what kind of output you get. However, for now we just set it to false. Setting this to false will ensure that none of this happens. So we don't calculate the radials, we don't draw the enemy because it's not needed. Right now we are going to be showing the shooting animation. So I then call the function shoot underscore animation. We'll look at the code of this function also in a bit, but we just show a shooting animation and then we generate a new enemy. So we set the enemy radial to pick another random value between 3 and 330. We set the game running again to true, and then we change the score by 1. So we increment the score because you have just scored a new enemy. On pressing the button B, again we set the game running to false because we're going to be displaying the score. So we do not want any conflicting animations. Now we call the show number block to show the score. The score is a variable which tracks our current score. We set it to 0 in the beginning and we increment it over here every time you kill an enemy. And then we just show it when you press button number B. We wait for 2 seconds to give the user time to look at their score, and then we set the game running again to true. So it will go back to calculating the delta radials and all of these variables and then drawing the enemy. Finally, we come to the functions that are shoot animation and draw enemy. So we begin with the draw enemy function over here. This is a bit complicated, so I'll try to explain it as simply as I can. So if the enemy is to the right, we perform a certain set of operations, else we perform a different set of operations. Now you can see that if the enemy is to the right, I have the enemy coming in from the right. Else I have the enemy coming in from the left. So this is how we're going to deal with drawing the position of the enemy. Now what we can do is calculate, is basically check if the delta radial is less than tolerance 2 and greater than tolerance 1. So if we go back over here, we can see that we have tolerance 1 and tolerance 2. So if the delta radial is more than 25 degrees, we will not even show the enemy. However, between 25 and 15, we show it on the outermost edge. Between 15 and 5, we'll show it on the inner edge, on the inner LED. And if it is lower than 5, we are going to show it in the middle. So that is the first if block over here. So if the delta radial is less than the tolerance 2, but greater than tolerance 1, we are going to show it on the outermost edge. If it is less than tolerance 1 and greater than tolerance 0, we are going to show it on the inner edge. If it is less than tolerance 0, we are going to show it in the middle. Else we are not going to show the enemy at all. The other side is the same. So if we have between 2 and 1, we have it on the outermost edge. Between 1 and 0, we have it on the inner. And if it is less than 0, radial tolerance 0, then we have it right in the center. Otherwise, we don't show the enemy. Now, this is the draw enemy function. We can come to the shoot animation. This, if you recall, we call when the button A is pressed and the enemy is within crosshair. The enemy within crosshair is also set over here. You can see that if I draw the enemy in the center, it means that the enemy is within the crosshair. So inside this if block, I set the enemy within crosshair to true. Same for the other side as well. So here we set the enemy crosshair to true if they're in the middle. And if you recall looking at over here, in the beginning of every cycle, we assume that the enemy is not within crosshair. So the draw enemy can set this to true. Now what we can do is we can look at the shoot animation, which is called when we press the button. Over here, we just start playing this sound, this giggle sound, which you'll see in a bit what it is. And we start by drawing our spaceship, the enemy, which is supposed to be in the center, because that is the if condition, that the enemy is within the crosshair. Then the bullet goes one step towards the enemy, then it merges with the enemy. We play another sound called sad, and we'll see this also in a bit, how it sounds like. And then we draw an explosion animation. So the enemy explodes and then slowly disintegrates away into nothingness. And that is the shoot animation. Now let me just go ahead and download the code onto the microbit and we can see it in action. Our code is downloaded, and as you can see that the spaceship is drawn, but there is no enemy in front of us. Let us see if we can find the enemy. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to disconnect the USB cable, because it's not very convenient to rotate the microbit with the USB connected. I'm simply going to attach the battery pack to the microbit so that I can hold it, and it's a much more mobile system. Now as you can see, we have an enemy over here. If I approach it from the left, the LEDs approach from the right. And if I approach the enemy, if I go towards the right of the enemy, it approaches from the left. As soon as the enemy comes in the center, I can press button A, and you can listen to the audio, or that is the sound effects playing, and you can also see the shoot animation in action. So let's try that. And there you can see it played the entire shoot and disintegration animation along with the sound effects. So let us rotate it further now and try to find other enemies. Alright, so we have one over here. I'll just try to square up with the enemy and I'll press the shoot button. Oh, there's one right next to it. And once I'm done playing, I can check my score by pressing button B. We have killed 3 enemies, so it should show 3. And there you go. It shows your score. You can keep playing further and the score will keep incrementing. Alright, so we have one over here. Oh, yeah, there, we got him. And now if I check my score, it should say 5. Yep, and there was one enemy over here. Yeah, you can shoot that guy as well. And there you can see. So this is kind of like an augmented reality game using the microbit and the inbuilt compass. Now as an exercise, you can try to fix the problem that I explained earlier with regards to the north radial. The plus or minus 25 degrees that we have considered over here, or basically radial tolerance 2. Within this range of the north radial, the problem that is there is that you cannot directly calculate your radial from your delta radial from the enemy, because it will give you an incorrect value. So as an exercise, you can try to implement a solution for this. And with that, we conclude the AR based shooting game on the microbit. So that's all for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something today, and if you did, do leave us a like and comment down below if you have any queries, suggestions or ideas that you may want to share with us. Don't forget to subscribe, because we'll bring more such cool microbit V2 content to you. Until then, keep learning, keep programming, and I'll see you in the next one.